GearNetwork.com.
5, 4, 3.
I fucking told you.
Son
Jordan.
of a bitch. Are you guys kidding me?
I knew there was going to be a 3.
Oh, my God.
It feels right.
You failed.
Fuck it. Let's just do this. Hey there, podcast fans, and welcome to another episode of Misguided Musings. This is episode 4. Can you believe it? We're actually 2 months into this freaking thing. I can't believe it, but here we are. In this episode, Matt, Tom, and I are going to discuss all sorts of different fun things. We're going to talk about how
2 other people in the podcast.
No. There's only one other person in the podcast, and he's a special guest. I was getting to that, but now that you've ruined that, we've also got special guest stand-up comic Jesse Miles joining us again tonight after the rave reviews of last episode. Jesse, welcome back, buddy. How are you?
Thanks for having me again. Thank you, Matt, for ruining a perfectly good intro.
Yeah, no, he does do that from time to time. So
I'm just taking a hot take.
Oh, well, thank you. So on tonight's episode...
I wish you were taking a hot dick, Matt. It would be better.
Well, there it is, folks.
I hate the word hot takes because it sounds like hot cakes, and when I hear hot cakes, I think of pancakes, which is delicious.
Fantastic.
So tonight we're going to talk about bacon, sausage, and processed meats possibly being carcinogenic. We're also going to talk about how Christmas is already on display in retail, and that happened before Halloween, folks, just so everyone is clear. We may talk about the ban the box movement if we have time and decide that we want to bring that up. And then Jordan might tell you what's wrong with other people's children. This is another episode of Misguided Musings. Fuck, I wish I could talk right.
Refer to yourself in the first person.
I didn't actually.
You honestly should record another thing if you said Misguided Musings. Can't have a flub is the actual thing.
Let's get ready to be misguided. This is Misguided Musings. Guys, I had a couple things happen to me this week that I figured we should talk about.
I don't care about your life.
And I don't care about yours, Matt. So why don't you just jump off your balcony right into traffic?
Well, how come you live vicariously?
Vicariously? So I was driving this week, and I thought to myself, who adopts highways? Right? Like, that's a big commitment.
Businesses do that because it's good advertisement for them.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking, like, if my wife and I do it and we get divorced, like, who gets custody? Do we have to, like, would I have to drive on, like, a separate weekend or, like, 3 weekends a month or once every other week? Or, you know, how do we celebrate holidays if we get divorced?
States ban individuals from adopting highways. It's usually LLCs or corporations.
Thank you, you Riverdance bit stepper. Jordan's like, hey, I got an idea. And Matt's like, well, I'm going to do a jig on top of it. He's been trying to have a rhythm. Come again next time. I honestly didn't know that people adopted shit as couples, to be honest. I always thought single people adopted it and then made their boyfriends deal with it. Is that too personal?
Yeah, well, I mean, you might have firsthand experience there, Jess, man, but I guess the way I'm looking at things is if a regular couple were to adopt a highway, Matt, what would be a good time to tell it it's adopted? Like, on its 18th birthday? I mean, if it gets resurfaced with asphalt, is that like a skin graft? Like, what? There's a lot of things there that I'm a little unsure of.
Well, if it's Massachusetts or the Northeast, it's going to be deteriorated because of the harsh winters we have. You know, so if a highway manages to make it past 18 years, hey, it's pretty impressive.
Am I supposed to feel bad?
I think it's the least of its concerns.
When my highway just continuously gets plowed, like night after night in the winter?
I think you actually would cheer it on. Right?
Would it become a pedophile if it's getting plowed before its 18th birthday?
Yeah, 16.
Exactly.
So, guys. So seriously though, if let me get back on track here, because Matt may have ruined the highway bit, but I'm gonna bring it back around. What other things could people adopt? Right, like, and we talk about children and pets, and right. What if I could adopt like like a sports figure, like a football
Yes.
player.
We talked about this before too.
I think-
Jordan.
yeah,
Remember
we
we're
did,
talking
yeah.
about like GoFundMe websites and stuff where you
Right,
could
but
like
instead, like just regular people adopt like a football player, and so we're like, hey, you know what? You're not allowed to be on Twitter because I've adopted you, and I don't want you to screw things up for yourself.
I'm gonna adopt Ben
like-
Roethlisberger so I can beat him like his father should have.
with a belt. Like, could you like adopt a porn star?
can you fuck that porn
It's all
star
the-
if you adopt her, or is then does
that's
it
just
become
wrong.
incestual?
I think that, well, if she's not legally your family, like by blood, I don't know that that's incestual. But isn't that like wasn't there a celebrity
Yeah, it's
who
called
did that
Woody Allen. He
with his?
Ted Nugent.
Yeah, Woody Allen. That's right.
not
Ted
only
Nugent,
married
too.
his stepdaughter, but also was accused by his actual daughter of some diddling. But, you know, he made all those great movies, so we forget about that.
Ted Nugent adopted a 15-year-old girl from, I think, Polynesia. And once she turns 18, he married her. So, but during those 3-year periods, he fucking
And
fucked
Paul
the shit
Walker
out
had
of
a
her.
16-year-old girlfriend. Yes,
So-
the dead.
Dead
What
guy?
other Paul Walker
But
do
did
you
he-
know?
Karma. Hey,
I don't know.
what's
Walker's
karma,
a pretty
you know?
common last
I
name.
will
It's
say
just
the
saying.
irony of Paul Walker dying was that his race car buddy was driving the car, and I bet it was just like, dude, let me in the next Fast and Furious. Dude, check this sick left out. No, we're already full on the cast, man. And then a
Paul Walker, more like Paul laying in the ground.
More like Paul laying under the ground.
Oh,
making Paul Walker
boy.
jokes right.
Well, Jesse, if you want
Paul
Ben
no longer
Roethlisberger to
driving
get,
in Fast
No.
and Furious.
if you want Ben Roethlisberger to get, beat, why don't you have Adrian Peterson adopt him so he could hit him with a
Sing.
switch?
And fill his mouth with leaves.
What is the...
Yeah, no, Adrian
No,
Peterson
it's
stuffed
branches.
his son's.
It was like branches or
No,
something.
Adrian Peterson stuffed his son's mouth with leaves and then hit him with a branch.
I thought it was...
That sounds like a Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I had all the facts, just in the wrong order.
So,
He stuffed him with faggots.
Fantastic.
so
We're not that Boston.
yep. No, we that is
Well, no. Faggots are little twigs.
They're also
it's-
cigarettes,
That's
aren't
the
they?
direct definition. I'm not actually talking about homosexuals.
it's actually in Europe the
better
idiom is
towards
to bum a
homosexuals.
fag would be to borrow a cigarette.
Matt, you got your
But
own European cultural
regardless,
shit wrong.
So listen to this. So, like, I was over in Glasgow. It was about 10 years ago, and we were. I was with my cousin. We were staying over at like his apartment in Glasgow, and the window was open. And I was yelling out the window, and there were these Glaswegians walking by, and I'm like, "Hello, everybody! Have you guys seen Braveheart? I'm American. Can I bum a fag off you guys?"
Wait, time out. What is a
What?
Glaswegian?
A Glaswegian is a citizen or a resident of the town, city of Glasgow.
Oh,
We
why
call it
couldn't
the
they?
Glaswegian accent.
Couldn't they be? Couldn't
it's
they be like Glasgowites or something?
Glasgogians?
Glasgowites?
No, Glaswegian. So a Glaswegian accent's a little
Yeah,
bit
but, like-
different. It's like, I know what you're doing, you fucking wee cunt. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking batter you.
Where
You
does the-
fucking knobby bastard.
Where do they decide that you're a Ouijan or a Onian or something like that?
Well,
Bostonian.
I don't
know what the direct
Bostonites.
history
Well, no,
is,
we're-
but-
so it's Bostonians,
Yeah.
right? Bostonians, but like Quincy is actually Quinzyites or Quinzites. I
They're
don't know
called
how that would
opiate
actually
addicts,
even
Jordan.
work.
That sounds way too classy.
Yeah, right. Copiate addicts. Forgot about that. But like New York is New Yorker,
They're called
right? Like
trench
you're a
pickers,
New
too.
Yorker. So when you're you're not a Manhattanite, right? So I think that's such a weird way to figure that out. Like Glasgowians, maybe I don't. So Glaswegians, huh? We all learned something already, and we're only like 10 minutes into the episode, so that's pretty. cool.
Can I be a Waywegian? Because I'm from Weymouth, Massachusetts.
You're a midnight.
Waymanite. Is that anything like a Mennonite?
I don't know. Like Waywegian sounds much cooler.
Waywegian does sound much cooler, actually. I think you should go with Waywegian.
I'm a Waywegian.
I remember somebody I met who had a lisp, and when they mentioned the town of Weymouth where they lived, it was like, I live in Weymouth. I live in Weymouth. So maybe you can call yourself a Weymouth.
I wouldn't say that's a lisp because people with lisps can't do the whole TH sound.
Have you ever heard a guy with a lisp?
Instead of the, it's all right. Well, yeah. So to get us back on track, the other thing that I thought we should talk about, I this weekend had to work Comic-Con for an event, and so let me tell you a little bit about Comic-Con for those of you who haven't been there.
Comic-Con.
Don't even know what it is.
You don't. Yeah. So if you've ever been to Comic-Con, then you'll understand this, unless you're one of these people.
The event when you learn that nerds are more fun than
Comic-Con.
jocks.
I thought you were talking about.
And you know what's really funny though? Not one person there
Have you ever listened
didn't
to
reek
smelled
of
any
feet,
gathering
body
of
odor,
people?
shame, and regret. And yeah, but this gathering of people, it was an extremely pungent gathering. And then the other funny thing was, right, so you walk around this event and you see all these people who are dressed up, you know, and that's all well and good. You spent a lot of time on your costume. I really can appreciate that. And then there's the people who paid to get in, who are sitting in the hallway with Nintendo DSs, literally playing each other, like, in a hall. So you paid however much to get into Comic-Con. I didn't pay. I got in for free because I was working the event for my job. But you've got people who paid to get into Comic-Con who are on a little handheld, like, so you brought your video game with you. You couldn't leave it at the house. And there's all this like make believe happening and like live action role playing and people in costumes, and you'd rather play Nintendo with some random dude you just met than actually go and be social. You can't even go someplace where there's a social event and a social gathering and be social.
Hey, listen, maybe they were exchanging like pottery or home decor in Animal Crossing or something. Like, how do you know they're not being social?
I don't understand why, like, dating websites don't take advantage of these events where nerds are. You know, they should have like an Asperger's date. Online date, you know, Asperger's.com or date an Asperger online.
You know what? I think we should stop this right here.
Why?
Because I'm pretty sure
That's a pretty good market.
I am pretty sure that you are offending quite a few people right now.
And you are out of line.
As offensive as I'm about to be later on
I thought
in this episode.
Asperger's was a vegetarian burger when I first heard it.
All right. Well, in that case,
and they called it ass because it tastes like ass burgers.
Oh, asparagus, like an asparagus burger.
yeah, Matt, a burger made out of asparagus. You, my friend,
are insensitive. Let's move on.
Yeah. So earlier this week, the World Health Organization came out and has decided that bacon, sausage, and other processed meat are carcinogenic. And they've also put in that red meat may lead to an increase in the chance of cancer. So it may or may not be carcinogenic, but it may or may not also lead to having cancer. To which I said, I'm going to wrap a hot dog in bacon, stuff it inside of a hamburger, and eat it. Because this shit is crazy. Yeah. Well, that's only if I deep fry it as if it were chicken, but not really deep fried chicken. I think that shit's crazy because you know what else is carcinogenic? Air. Go outside, right, and breathe. And the exhaust that comes out of cars, yeah, you're breathing in cancer-causing toxins there, folks. And look closely at like your personal hygiene products because there's a lot of ingredients in toothpaste and soap and shampoo, and it's the stuff that actually makes that foam. So that nice lather you're getting, yeah, that's actually a cancer-causing agent that typically does. But back to the actual thing at hand here. I'm going to take my chances, I think, because I eat a lot of meat. I eat bacon, I eat sausage, I eat hot dogs and burgers, and I eat steak. And no, Jesse, you don't need to project. You don't need to project on me, Jesse. We understand that you live that alternative lifestyle, being in Brighton, but it's not for me. So just because you spend a lot of time there in heels doesn't mean anything. So
bollocks.
I'm gonna take chances eating meat, because why not, right? I don't smoke, and I feel like, you know what? The possibility of getting cancer from red meat, I'll take the delicious possibility against smoking or other bullshit that the World Health Organization wants to come out and call cancerous.
See, the thing that scares me about this is completely serious here, is, one of the things about the World Health Organization's report is that they said that it is a contributor or a leading cause of colon cancer. Now, I don't know, colon cancer is a little different than probably some other cancers that you can get, because, like if you have skin cancer, you can just, kind of cut it out. You know what I mean? If you got cancer that's spreading around your body, you can treat it with, chemotherapy and whatnot. When you have colon cancer, they just cut out your colon. You know what that means? That means you're like crapping into a bag.
That's not necessarily true. There are other ways to treat colon cancer, but it all depends on how you catch it. A friend of mine actually was diagnosed, and Jesse, you might remember him. He came to CVS quite a bit. He was he worked for Frito-Lay, and he was our vendor for the CVS that Jesse and I both worked at. And he actually had stage 4 colorectal cancer, and I mean he kicked ass for a long time, but they didn't catch it fast enough. And there was something that he mentioned to his doctor, and his doctor was proactive and said, you know what, let's just do a routine check just to see what happens, just to see what's there. And there are warning signs for colon cancer.
Bleeding of the anus?
Yeah.
Or an umbrella?
Well, that's the thing, though.
Fuck it.
Blood in your stool is actually, yes, a sign of colon cancer. It's something, there's a chance that something may be wrong. Pain in your stomach indicates something, but it's like...
That could be cyanide.
It could be anything. That's the problem. And so that's why colon cancer is as scary as it is. But the other thing that happens with colon cancer typically is like unexplained weight loss, always feeling bloated
if you're
or crampy.
A fat bastard and you're losing weight, it means that you probably have colon cancer.
The other thing is, if you're constantly tired or weak, a change in your basically your bathroom habits or whatever, and if you become increasingly jaundiced. So there are signs of colon cancer, and there's a way for the doctor to kind of go, oh, you know what? A lot of this stuff doesn't make sense. Let's do a screening. But there's another report that came out that said that when they did that study, there was no huge increase in the chances of getting cancer in the participants of the study based on the frequency that they eat, the processed meats. Basically, they were saying, well, the World Health Organization says it's carcinogenic, but there wasn't enough data collected to really come against this and say, well, you know what, we can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this does cause cancer. It may lead to cancer. It's possibly carcinogenic, but they're not 100% sure.
I'm sure, like everything, if you eat in moderation processed meat, I'm sure you're going to be. One of the things that study, doesn't take is the fact that it is renowned around the world. And, for many studies, and this has been known for the last 25 years, the healthiest diet of ethnicity is supposed to be the Mediterranean, which is parts of southern Italy. Food is supposed to be the healthiest. So I think it's kind of negated here a little bit. I think maybe it's something that needs a little bit more studying.
Well, wasn't there that urban legend about what was it, John Wayne, who died of colon cancer? They found like 7 pounds of unprocessed meat in his colon after he died. Like, we've always known that, red meat's not the healthiest for you. If you're going to go something that's healthy, everybody knows it's white meat or fish.
Mercury, but that's mostly tuna, though.
I also smoke a pack a day, so...
Yeah, I mean, even fish, though. There's mercury in fish. So
yeah, like I think the main thing.
So this goes back to my point.
Right now is
everything is dangerous.
The fact that
everything is dangerous.
Radiation.
The other thing they said that the study didn't really take into account for was people's lifestyle habits away from
everybody's going to get it. We're all going to get it. It's just the way it's going to go.
Yeah, like I think the main thing that's causing cancer right now is radiation. The fact that everything's made from radiation.
I don't want to go that route because, I mean, and so that leads me to another point that I wanted to bring up quickly. I was talking to somebody in one of my visits this week for work, and he actually works for a company. And I'm not going to say the name of it, and I'm not going to say who he was because he wasn't really authorized to talk about it on record.
That doesn't sound profitable, so it probably will never get released.
Yeah, you're never going to get it, so it doesn't really matter. But this guy works for a pharmaceutical company, and they've actually created a drug that stops cancer in its place. It doesn't set it back, but it stops it from growing, and the clinical trials have proven that 98% of cases of cancer that have the patients have used this drug have actually stopped cancer in its tracks, and they're actually going to be releasing soon these findings, which is really cool to me. That basically there is progress made in the delaying the speed that cancer grows in your body. Because the biggest problem with colon cancer is that it spreads to the other body parts like your liver, like your kidneys, and once it spreads to your liver, you're done. Yes, it's this very scary thing, Tom, to go back to what you said. It's a very scary prospect that it could cause colon cancer, but I'm not going to live my life in fear and go, you know what? I may or may not die of colon cancer. I may or may not die of getting hit on my head from an anvil that fell from an airplane. You know what I mean? I can't live like that. I'm not going to live in fear.
Like, you're not going to smoke, and you're not going to do anything else that would expose yourself to radiation or chemicals of any sort. But you're going to continue to eat processed meat.
Yeah, I'm not standing in front of satellite dishes. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit bathe in uranium, whatever it is that they use in atomic bombs. So no, but at the same time, it's a chance I'm willing to take because you know what? I'm not going to live off of chicken for the rest of my life. And you know what? Look at the shit that they're putting in steroids and stuff to make the so much bigger and more produced. So like I was saying, yeah, I'm not going to really guard myself against something that may or may not be carcinogenic. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't eat it as much as I do, but eating chicken and drinking milk and eating pork. So you know what? It's all bad for you. So I'm not going to go vegan. I'm not going to stop eating meat because, I'm going to die eventually. Is it going to be colon cancer? Is it going to be getting hit by a bus? Who cares? I guess is my point. If I do what I do, then so be it.
You're talking about curing cancer there. Excuse me. But anyway, what you were talking about, how they've made progress in stopping cancer, that goes. I saw a recent program on Vice, which is on HBO, the news organization, and they had something on how they're curing certain kinds of cancer. One of them was brain cancer, and what they were doing was they were giving a young kid. They were giving the young kid polio, and basically when they gave this kid polio, the polio killed off the cancer. And then from there, they obviously used the polio vaccine to get rid of the polio. But they're doing very experimental things in killing cancer right now, or curing it or stopping it from growing.
Just don't ask your insurance company if you can get some of those experimental treatments, because
no. Yeah, this person had to pay out of pocket, and then this other person had the same surgery, got it done in Canada. So I think it was a little bit easier for them there. But nevertheless, they are making progress, and it's a disease that's been around for quite some time, and hopefully in the near future they'll be able to make some major progress in it. But if there's a buck to be made, it's certainly not going to be affordable anytime soon for any of us.
Oh, absolutely not. They make a lot more money off lifetime treatments than they do off an actual cure.
Yeah. Like the common cold. They should have a cure for that by now, but they don't, because if they had a cure for the common cold, they couldn't make as much money off these congestions.
Part of the problem with that is the common cold, it's a different strain every time you get it. That's because your body builds up an immunity to the cold strain that you get last year. This year's cold strain is different, so your body hasn't built up that immunity to it. It's an actual evolving virus. And so for those of you who don't believe in evolution, look at the common cold and how it evolves year over year, so that you're actually getting different strains of the same virus year after year after year. It's building up an immunity to a lot of the medicines that we have to help the symptoms of it. It literally, the common cold may not be curable because it is evolving. Anything else you guys want to talk about to round out this whole topic? I know I spoke a lot. I feel like I spoke the entire time, which, fine with me. Just didn't know if any of you guys had actual other thoughts that you wanted to add before we finish this topic up. Wow, the resounding silence. Yeah, the resounding silence there is great. So we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Christmas. And Matt, you said to me when we were doing the production stuff for this that you were in favor of the war on Christmas. I'm not in favor of that, a war on Christmas, so to speak, but I'm starting to get sick of the frequency that we're getting of how Christmas is coming out in earlier and earlier. So let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Losing your masculinity. Did you attempt to slit your wrist when you were unemployed? Does your wife's whip now have spikes? Is Glee now your favorite TV show? And have you ever found yourself stimulated while staring at the mirror in your wife's lingerie? Not to worry, because it's Movember! This November, disregard that upper living, grow a mustache. There's many different styles to choose from, such as the GG, the Fu Manchu, and my favorite, the Raleigh Fingers. So don't mind Salvation and Performance Enhancers. Get down and give her a hairy ride. Be a man, but grow a mustache this November. This was brought to you by Movember.org.
Listening to Misguided Musings on the Gear Network, you motherfucking cocksuckers.
Welcome back, everybody. And let's get a little bit into the fact that Christmas is already on display in retail. And I saw this, actually, it was a couple of days. When I worked retail, I hated Christmas. But regardless, it's because starting the 1st of November, you have to play Christmas music, in your place of establishment 24/7. That infuriated me when I was working retail. Now that I don't work retail anymore and I have a daughter, I actually look forward to Christmas now because she's going to be able to open presents under the Christmas tree. I don't have to work Christmas Eve necessarily. I don't have... Well, you know what? I like that type of stuff. So yeah, call me sappy. That's fine. I like putting up my Christmas tree in my house and decorating it. I think that's a lot of fun, and it brings
That
back.
offends me.
Great. I hope it offends you, because I am not the type of person who's going to go, oh, well, let's be politically correct because you're offended by what I'm doing.
You're offending Festivus.
You know what? That's another thing. Let's talk about offense real quick. I don't care about offending people because you know what? It's not my job to make sure that you fit into society and that you're happy with everything that's happening. But I love when white people, especially, tell me that I'm enjoying white privilege.
It's condescending.
I'm sorry. It's so my
When
God,
white
it
people
is.
are like, it's okay,
I'm sorry.
minorities, I got this for you. You should be upset about this. And it's like, motherfucker, let us be upset about it.
Well, Jesse, you're only half minority, so you can only be half
See,
upset.
and that's another thing. I get discounted as mine. It's fucking bullshit because I came out white. Everybody's like, you can't be offended. Shut up and listen to this hilarious black joke.
For those of you,
So
I'm offended by Christmas because it is literally thrown right at me. It's pushed down my throat, and I have to listen
But you
to
know
every
what?
fucking
But you
song.
know
I
what,
have to
Matt?
see every ugly Christmas tree.
Matt.
I have to deal with every fucking. Oh, you gotta
It's
do
because
this. and do that."
Christmas
I
is
hate
fucking
conformity.
great, Matt. No one wants to say it, so we will. It's fucking great. You get a shit ton of presents from a magic man who actually turns out to be your
Oh,
parent.
those shit ton of presents. Oh, they make you feel so happy.
Hey, they
don't
fill the
they?
hole for a little bit.
Oh, let's all live in a materialistic
Listen,
world.
listen,
Let's all have fake
Matt, you're
happiness.
trying to make a
All right,
living
so-
off expensive tech equipment. Let's not bash material things right now.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you the reason why I like Christmas, Matt. Because every year at Christmas, my whole family got together. I got to see all my aunts and uncles. I got to spend time with my family, which, for better or worse, built who I am today and what I want to do with my family going forward. I enjoyed, I don't want to say I enjoyed going to church because I don't. I never enjoyed going to church. I never wanted to be in church, but my parents forced me to
Sucks.
go. I like the lessons that the Bible teaches you because you know what? There are some good concepts in there, but that's a whole different show.
Diddling children.
Yeah, no, that's the Catholic Church, which is where you were baptized. See, me, we actually got away from the Catholic Church. I'm a Protestant, so digest
actually
that
believe
for a
in
minute.
God?
Yeah, no, digest that for a minute.
I don't believe in God. I think God doesn't exist.
Well, great. So then you can work on Christmas Day and don't take the holiday then. Oh, but wait, you don't want to be at work on Christmas Day? Well, that's interesting because, like, someone like me who enjoys the time with my family because I do work, every other day, and I do enjoy the time that I get for the holiday.
Well, that's
I love
like-
hearing about people dying on Christmas.
But
It's so
but that's the
awesome.
thing. Christmas isn't exactly a religious holiday. You don't have to believe in God to have fun on Christmas. Like, some people are assholes about it. They're like, I don't
no-
believe in
no
God, so my
shit.
kids don't get Christmas. It's not about God. It's about putting joy on your kid's face.
This was going to have my kids.
I
Then
am
your
my kids
kids
are
are
am
gonna
not gonna
90%
celebrate
sure.
Christmas.
I am 90% sure that the reason why the United States of America is one of the most successful or the most successful country in the world right now is because of Christmas.
Germany is.
No, it's because of Christmas, because of the commercialism and the amount of money that is spent during this time period lifts companies from the red into the black every single year, and it spurs our economy like no other holiday around the world. Period. Yeah.
Everybody
Right.
loves the bonuses that come with Christmas and the time off.
I hate it.
But don't
I love
but
hearing
don't give it
the
to Matt because
story.
Matt can't accept it. Matt
I
can't.
love
so,
hearing the story.
so
of the
Matt,
person
this year you're
waking
going to
up
go
on
into work,
Christmas
right?
Day.
Matt, this year you're
I
going to
will-
go into work on Christmas Day.
I
Then
can't
Matt,
go to work.
give your
I
bonus
literally
back
cannot go
because
to
you don't
work on
believe in
Christmas Day.
Christmas.
Oh no, it's a holiday bonus. So whatever religion I believe in, I can accept that.
Yeah, but you're not
holiday
religious.
bonus.
You just said
it's
that.
not a Christmas.
You just said you're not religious,
and I
so
also
don't worry
work
about
at
it.
a bank. Oh, you can have a non-religious holiday. Veterans Day is a non-religious holiday. Memorial Day is a
Yeah, but you don't get a Veterans Day bonus.
holiday. Well, you can.
No, you don't get a Veterans Day bonus, Matt.
But I
so
can look it upon it as whatever I want for that bonus. I don't have to say that it's for Christmas.
Well,
I don't have to say it's for
you don't get a
Hanukkah.
Labor Day
I don't have to
bonus.
say it's for Kwanzaa or any kind of bullshit religious holiday.
Labor Day is probably more accurate.
I can say it's for Festivus.
Labor Day is the actual holiday where you get like, hey, you've worked really hard. Here, have Labor Day off as a reward to you for working hard. Have Labor Day.
I think Labor Day's a nice day off.
Matt will enjoy the benefits of having, Christmas and taking Christmas off, but he's going to sit there and go, I want to be the Grinch. I don't want to
You know
enjoy
what?
Christmas. Fuck
I'm gonna
Christmas.
love it when the person wakes up in the morning and be like, "Oh, my presents," and rips it up and rips up a present of stroke.
What little kid do you know that's having stroke?
What stroke?
No, I'll be nice and I'll be fair, and they'll say it's
Whose
not a
house
kid,
are
they'll say
you
it's
in
an
where
older
you're watching
person.
Are you
your
giving
children have
kids
strokes
strokes?
and enjoying the moment?
Matt, are you giving kids strokes? Like, what's going on? Are you stroking kids?
I'm pretty sure that Matt's putting on a show, because I guarantee you when he and his fiance get married and have kids,
My kids are not gonna
and-
celebrate.
and
You
they
absolutely
celebrate Christmas.
will. No, they won't.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
No, they won't.
Hey, Matt, Matt? All right, you know what? I'm going to put an end to that argument right now. Yeah, Matt, where are you getting married, bud? Oh, that's right, a Catholic church. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what's going to happen? We're all going to show up next November to your wedding in the church, and we're going to go, oh yeah, look, there's Matt at the front of the aisle, and you know what's behind him? An altar.
Yeah, and
So,
then when
back
they
to
say
Christmas-
during the wedding, when they say, "Oh God," I'll be like, "It's bullshit," and I'll take the Bible
And you know
rip
what-
it
you know
up
what?
and say, "You're all going to hell." Fuck
And then
you.
you
That's
wind
going to
up filing
rip
for
the Bible
divorce
at
the
his
next
own
day.
wedding and expect to still have a wife.
You know what Matt's going to do when they say, "Do you promise to raise your kids in the Catholic faith?" He's going to say yes.
He won't
because
say
everybody
yes, he'll
says
say
yes,
I.
and that's how it
You
goes.
know, Scottish.
You're going to say yes because yeah, right. So listen, back to the debate at hand. Now that we've all torched Matt for being such a negative person, Christmas is already on display before Halloween this year, which really, really aggravates me. And actually, one of my malls that I go to
Oh, the mall's
for
a
work
great place.
has Santa Claus. Oh, he's got Santa Claus is already out, and that irks me just a little bit. Can we get through Thanksgiving
No,
before
'cause
we put Santa Claus
See,
in
I
the mall?
love
Everybody wants
Thanksgiving.
to get-
Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday.
Oh, but I don't believe in the pilgrims, so I don't
It's not
celebrate
about.
it.
It's
It's
not
not
about
about political
family. It's not
correctness.
about.
How much I hate Christmas. It's the fact that I am supposed to like this holiday. The fact that I'm supposed to spend my hard-earned money.
No
that
one
I
says you have to
listen
like
to
it.
that horrible music everywhere, and the fact that I have to get that condescending look from everybody, like "Merry Christmas." You know what? Maybe I'm not Christmas. Why do you not celebrate Christmas? Because I'm not Christian, or just that whole bullshit of just like.
Matt can't stand when people are nice, because you know what happens during the Christmas season?
No, people become
nice.
terrible. They cut people in line. They shove. They get so frustrated. They get so stressed, and it's all for one fucking day. Because you know what happens? It's all this big fucking anticipation. It happens one day, and then the next day, it's like, get back to work, you slave. You know, get back. You know, yeah, it was great. How enjoy? Oh, did you drink a lot of eggnog alcohol? Well, you better fucking be sober now. Get back to work, because you know what? All those spoiled children, they didn't like all their toys and whatever. They have to fucking return them. It's just.
No, Matt, that's you returning presents that you don't like. Kids don't return toys because they play with
Well,
them. They
their
don't care
parents
what they
return
get
them.
because they're happy that they got
Oh,
presents.
the majority of kids do that. Yeah, there's a thing called a receipt. Where's the receipt?
Yeah, that's what my 3-year-old
Yeah, where's
will
the
be
receipt
asking
from
for
Santa?
on the 26th. Daddy,
you're being
where is
ridiculous.
receipt?
So listen, as much as I like and enjoy my time at Christmas, I hate that it's already on display. I hate that it's being pushed down our throats. So there, I agree with you, Matt. But this is what I hate even more. Starbucks has come out with their holiday cup. Their holiday cup is a solid red cup. Great, solid red cup. I couldn't care less about the design of Starbucks holiday cup. But the Christians who are now offended because because Starbucks didn't keep Christ in Christmas. Yes, yeah, there are Christians all over the United States right now who are pissed at Starbucks. Do you know why they're pissed at Starbucks? Because there's not a Christmas tree. There's not an ice skate. There's not a snowflake. There's nothing that says that this cup represents Christmas. This cup represents
Jesus on their cup?
and a season. You know what season it represents? The season where everything is covered in red and green and blue and white. Great. I don't give a fuck that Starbucks doesn't make a special cup for me for my holiday. That doesn't bother me. It is not Starbucks' responsibility to make Christians happy. Starbucks is not legally obligated to even acknowledge Christmas. So if they're coming out with a special holiday cup, just like they came out with their special pumpkin spice latte that you had to be a special person to get, great. Be happy that they've done anything to acknowledge the holiday.
I hope next year they come up with a dreidel cup and ignore Christmas altogether just to fuck with the Christians.
Well, now I've actually seen like responses to Starbucks, like people going to like their Facebook page and like their Twitter and going, "I'm not spending my money on you because you didn't celebrate, you didn't recognize Christmas for me."
That's the problem with the internet. Everyone's an asshole. It's either they did something that was offensive or they didn't do enough to cater to them.
Exactly. I am so sick of the entitlement that people feel like they have. Well, you know what? How come Starbucks doesn't do anything for Native Americans? But you don't hear anybody bitch about that. How come Starbucks doesn't have an affirmative action cup? Well, nobody gets bitchy about that. I don't get it. I don't get why Christians feel like they're the only people who are entitled to have anything this time of year. It infuriates me that the reaction from people is, well, I'm not going to spend my money at Starbucks because they didn't put a freaking star on their cup. They didn't put a snowflake or a snowman on their cup, so I'm not going to go and spend money there. Maybe they didn't want to pay extra for the design on a cup that people are going to drink coffee out of for a half an hour and then throw away. There's a thought. Let's not put special watermarks on a cup that is disposable. How's that strike you? Anybody think about that? Maybe there's a business reason behind it. God, I hate that.
Because if you're seen as catering towards one race or one, if you're seen as catering towards one religious denomination, then you're leaving all the other ones out. So if you do something general, apparently the Christians, who honestly Christians have been the ones that are getting catered to for years, they somehow feel left out.
Well, you know what's funny is I'll see someone who's of Muslim background who celebrates Islam. They'll go and they'll drink at Starbucks from a red cup. They don't care. Jewish people don't care. You know who cares? The Christians care. And maybe the Jewish people do care. Maybe there are some who get offended by it, but they still drink out of the stupid cup. Because you know what happens? They drink it, they get over it, and they go about their business.
Or I don't think that you have the right to not. I don't feel like, Jordan, you have the right to be pissed off at these Christian people because you're pissed off that Christmas is being shoved down our throats and it's not, it's November 9th.
But Jordan's not trying to boycott the companies that are putting shit out early. When you're offended to the point where you're like, I'm not going to that thing, like the cops in Tarantino. That thing is fucking ridiculous. You can't be a government employee and call for a boycott when he didn't say what you're saying that he said.
You know what the worst part about it is? Is that's exactly the situation that people are likening this to. They're likening this to Tarantino and the cops, and that is stupid. It's a cup of coffee, folks. If it is that serious, bring your own mug, because you know what? Starbucks will fill your mug with coffee.
And you will have large bowel movements.
And again, it is a good comparison though, because the Tarantino thing was also a non-issue. He didn't say all cops are murderers. Like everyone was just like, "Oh, Tarantino said cops are murderers." No, he didn't. He said that we should call the cops that are murderers, but not the ones that aren't. He was basically on a reasonable side, and all the cops are just like, "You said some cops might be bad. We're not going to see you."
And just like the priests and the Catholic Church who molested children, but
not all priests did it. and that's the
No,
and that's
of
the
course,
thing that we're getting.
exactly.
I am just, and I get your point of view, Tom. You know that it's.
Oh,
but
you
I'm not
sounded
offended
like you were.
that
You
Christmas
sounded
is
like
already
you were
out.
like,
I just think, you know what,
really, really
maybe,
hurt and shocked and angry that Christmas is out and Halloween just passed.
I just want to. You know what? I don't care if someone comes out and puts a gigantic Christmas tree.
You're probably going to complain about it
on the White House lawn on the day after Thanksgiving. But my issue lies with when we're not even through the month, we're not even into November yet, and we're already putting Christmas decorations up. The retail season pushes so hard to get people in to malls to spend money because they're all hurting.
This is transformed. Like I said, this is transformed from a religious holiday or a holiday where you value time with your family into a commercial holiday. And there's nothing wrong with that because it spurs the biggest economy or one of the biggest economies in the world. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Christmas, there would be many, many, many more companies that went out of business. And thered be less money in the economy circling around, and less jobs, everything that isn't, goes on with the economy. So, do I have a problem with Christmas? I work for a wholesaler, and I work in the floral industry for hard goods. I set Christmas in August. I don't have a problem with that because that's where we make all of our money.
Right, but you are supplying goods to people who make their living off of Christmas, right? So I understand that you need to set Christmas in August, but you're not sitting there playing Christmas music or holiday music. Well, then good for you. That's great. But you know what's going to happen? You're going to take Christmas down and start December the next 15th. Set, which is probably Valentine's Day, probably later this month. There you go. So for you are on a different cycle, and I get that. But to the general public who are going and buying their Christmas presents, probably late November, probably Black Friday, let's worry about Christmas later on in November. I don't even care if it comes out before Thanksgiving. Let's just keep it out of October. I think that's getting a little ridiculous. But let's go back to Starbucks real quick. So a lot of Christian people now are saying that they're offended that they're not being represented properly. And I think Starbucks, whether they did it on purpose or not, are not trying to offend anybody, but they're also not trying to cater to one group over another. And I think the thing that happens, right, and Matt, you never read a Bible because you're so anti-religion, but Jesus says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Well, I don't see other people getting pissed off that the dreidel isn't on a special cup for Starbucks. And Christians get all pissed off because, your company didn't keep Christ in Christmas, so I'm not going to go there. Well, if you love your neighbor, if you do what Jesus says, right, and you love your neighbor as you love yourself, maybe you think about how they feel when they're not being represented and only you're being represented. Just a thought. So that's where I stand on that. I don't care necessarily that Christmas is being on display, put on display, a week and a half, 2 weeks into November. Let's just get through Halloween, okay? Which isn't even a real holiday. It's a pagan holiday that was used to commercialize things and generate some money, I feel like, but that's what all holidays are. They're all pagan holidays, technically.
Matt hates Christmas and Halloween. How the fuck do you hate Halloween?
Matt,
Children
you were
going
one of
around
those children at
expecting
one
free
point.
candy.
You know that, right?
Bunch of socialists.
You know what's funny about that too is Matt, you were probably the most socialist person I'm friends with. You come from like a socialist society, and when I mean a true socialist society, where your health care is legitimately for free. Your schooling, if you had stayed in Scotland, probably would have been for free. And so for you to call children socialist because they expect free candy on Halloween, I think it's just kind of ironic and funny.
I think it's ironic and funny. It happens in America, the biggest capitalist country, in which one day of the week, we're totally fine. We're giving little brats candy. And we're going to validate them with their awful
it's not even an
costumes.
official holiday. I didn't get the day off.
I think if you were gonna,
but I didn't want to get the day off from work.
You had the day off.
So you know what's funny is I think if Matt wanted to have a problem with Halloween, I wouldn't have an issue with it. If he took issue with the fact that we bring kids around to strangers' houses and ask them to take treats from strangers, when every other day of the year we tell them not to do that.
I also hate 4th of July
Just
as well.
putting that out there.
He's like a Jehovah's Witness who had never picked the club.
It's nothing to do with that. I just hate
Matt
holidays.
he just wants to work every
Like
single
Labor
day of the
Day.
week forever. Matt just wants to work 5 days a week. Was it 52 weeks a year?
Yeah.
I'm going to call bullshit on Matt not enjoying holidays because I think he just wants to be a contrarian. So I think this is probably a good spot to leave off because there's nothing good going to come from any other conversation that we have about Christmas and holidays and everything.
Do not celebrate Christmas, everyone. Enjoy yourself. Make your own holiday up. You don't have to follow the Christian beliefs, the Hanukkah beliefs, the beliefs of Christians, or all sorts of other things. Make your own day up. Enjoy Festivus. Come up with other different holidays. Don't have to conform to this. Enjoy yourself with your family. You don't need a fucking holiday to do that.
Let's cut to a break, and when we come back, let's do a quick wrap-up with Ban the Box, and you might hear why Jordan hates other people's children.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you, asshole.
Fuck you!
Fuck you, dog!
See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you and
We at the Misguided Musings would like to fuck you every other Saturday here on the Gear Network. Go fuck yourself, America.
I love you. I still love you.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's do this real quick. Matt, we love you. We don't want you to feel like an outcast, but you better come back with a better attitude next time when we talk about Christmas because we all love it, and it offends me that you don't. Anybody else offended that Matt doesn't love Christmas?
The
Fuck
movie
yourselves.
Elf is a treasure, goddammit.
I completely agree. I think
You know what my favorite Christmas movie is? Bad Santa.
that is a great
yeah,
Christmas
that
movie.
is a great
That is a
Christmas
great
movie.
Christmas movie. I like when the fat kid cuts his hand with the scissors. I think that's probably
While making a
my
wooden
favorite.
pickle.
Well,
Yes.
because he's the only Christ-like person in the show.
The best two Christmas movies, I feel, are Home Alone 1 and 2.
I gotta be honest. If anybody ever tells me that Christmas Story is the best Christmas movie ever, I will stab them in the throat.
It's the
because
most consistent, but definitely not the
while
best.
it's a great movie, and I will watch it at least once on repeat through the 24 hours it's on from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. Definitely not the best Christmas movie of all time. I don't see it.
It's a time period we can't relate to. I think we were that generation that came up on it. We were like, I'm a little disconnected from this.
But it's such a cult following, and I do enjoy the cult following aspects of it. I love the whole Fragile bullshit. I love, that he gets a lamp leg. That is fucking great. I love that he's like he fucking picks at the turkey, and I don't get the dogs. They're great. You have
It's a half a star movie. I just can't stand it. Poorly written, horrible special effects.
well, Matt. I mean, you got to think it was recorded fucking forever
That's
ago.
the thing.
So.
Holiday movies aren't that huge of a thing anymore. That's why I'm kind of excited. I want
I
to see
hate
the
the
Seth
narration.
Rogen
What
one.
about like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and like that snowman dude?
There's absolutely no denying the old claymation classics.
What's this, like Frosty or something?
You know what movie I love watching every year is, and this is going to sound terrible, but the remake of the Polar Express with all the CGI animation.
I
and
never
everything.
saw that.
It's so good. Tom Hanks plays like 16 different characters, and it's actually really, really good.
So Eddie Murphy.
He plays like every
Does he
character
play
in the
a
movie.
Does he
No.
play a mentally disabled person in it?
No, Matt, but if you want that role, I'm sure we could fill it for you.
Okay.
That would be
So, My name is Matthew, and I hate Christmas.
That would be great. The whole movie takes place inside of Matt's head as he's on the red line, and he's just like, I'm going to go see Santa!
I wouldn't because they don't like
He
Christmas, Jesse.
just watched Castaway, and he's going to go do his Christmas shopping, so the Polar Express happens in his confused mind.
Wait, the other movie that I love every Christmas, it was also
Being
the remake.
John Malkovich.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie, Matt, but nothing to do with Christmas, thanks. So the other movie that I love, though, is the Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey, where it's all animated. It is a phenomenal movie. I saw it in IMAX and almost threw up because it made me
How
dizzy.
about The Ref with Dennis Leary, where he takes Kevin Spacey and his wife hostage for the holiday party?
Can't stand
That is
Dennis
a
Leary.
great movie. Matt, you hate everything.
Dennis
You are
Leary
literally
is
a fun sucker.
biggest ripoff.
Oh, the best part of
he
that
stole his act.
one CD. Locked and Loaded is still great, which is his comeback from No Cure for Cancer, so therefore he maintains credibility.
No Cure for Cancer is a Bill Hicks ripoff.
So I'm getting poked with a stick here, folks. Maybe we'll revisit Christmas movies on our Festivus episode, which will be coming up in December. What? Did I just give you guys a spoiler alert? Maybe I should have said spoiler alert. Let's do that. Spoiler alert. Maybe we'll come back to Christmas movies on our Festivus episode, where we're all going to get drunk and air our grievances for 2015. Anyway, Jesse, I want to say again, thank you for joining the
thank
show.
you for having me.
No, not a problem. It's fun. I love hearing you and Matt in your feud. I love watching your feud develop every week in our production stuff. It just tickles me with delight that someone can't stand Matt's just total awful contrarianism as much as I do. And if you really want it, Jesse, I can get you the definition of contrarianism
You've
because I
said it
know
like
it's a big
7
word for
times
you.
this podcast, and I'm just obsessed with the amount of times you've been saying contrarian. I'm not trying to be contrarian, but if you want to be contrarian, you can contrarian all you
A
want.
contrarian is a person. Well, let me do this, right? A
You know what my
contrarian.
problem is with
Oh,
Ben
Jesus.
Fox?
A contrarian is a person who takes up an opposite position, especially a position that is opposed to the majority, regardless of
Oh,
how
now you're
unpopular
making
it
it
may
seem
be.
like bad sex.
Exactly. So, Jesse, what do you have coming up for
This
shows,
Wednesday,
pal?
I will be at the Comedy Studio in Harvard Square at 8 p.m., right above the Hong Kong restaurant. And Friday the 20th, I will be coming back to my hometown and doing a show at the Iron Furnace in Quincy. It used to be the Stadium, but now they've changed it to Iron Furnace. And
So you're headlining that event,
Ben
right?
Cronenberg is headlining it along with Nick LaValle and Sean Carter. So it'll be...
And Jesse Miles
Yes, I will
is
be a guest
headlining that
spot
event.
at that event. But if you want to, I'm
Headlining.
excited to do, a show in Quincy because, it's a great place for comedy. Even if you're not going to get any laughs, you'll at least get a couple of nods, the heroin addiction nodding off.
You also might get some needles thrown at you, so be careful.
You'll feel the iron
Jordan,
furnace.
you clearly
in your,
don't know addicts because they're not going
arm.
to fucking waste a needle.
No, they'd be empty.
They reuse them. Are you insane?
Well, if you go to a CVS in Quincy, you can get free needles, people. Just remember
That's
that.
why me and Jordan
Clean,
work
free
there. Isn't
needles.
that right, buddy?
I forgot what we were talking about.
It's a diabetes
Now your wife can hear this podcast and be like, "Is that why you were at
You know what my
CVS
problem is with
for the
Ben the
free
Boss?
needles, Jordan?"
Matt,
So here's
we're
my
not
problem
we're
with
not
Ben
talking
the
about
Boss.
we're not talking about that. So Jesse, thanks for joining us, pal. So just again, you're going to be doing an event on Wednesday, a show on Wednesday, and then again on the 20th you'll be here in Quincy.
Yep.
Looking forward to going to that. Maybe we'll capture some live audio and get some real audience input for the next show. Sounds like
Could be
it
a
could be
blast.
fun.
So yeah, everybody, come to Quincy.
I'll be there.
Iron Furnace, November 20th, 8 o'clock.
You know
All right,
my
everybody,
problem is
well,
with
thanks.
Ben the Box. I love boxes, and the fact that we want to ban them is ridiculous. Where are we going to put our things? You know, are we just going to have fucking rooms filled with just material all over the place?
I'm so glad
I
we're
mean,
multi-channel
how
recording.
ridiculous is this?
Yeah, you can cut the hell out of this.
I'm gonna have to edit this episode. The only reason Matt is going on tangents right now is because I'm gonna have to edit this whole episode.
You're gonna mute him like a motherfucker.
That's going to be like, why aren't I on this episode?
All right, everybody. So that was our show. Again, we thank you for listening to Misguided Musings, brought to you exclusively on the Gear Network, which features such podcasts as Better Live Than Dead and Get Ready America. You know what makes me say, "Oh, fuck it"? Other people's children. I am so sick of going into a retail establishment and seeing this little fucking terror pulling off fucking accessories from peg hooks or merchandise and running up to their parents and going, "I want to buy this, Mommy, buy this for me, Daddy, buy this for me," and then the parents fucking dropping all of their shit and not putting anything together for their kids and not disciplining their kids. No, you don't let your fucking kid run around a store like it's a fucking jungle gym. No, you don't let them do that. You don't let them fucking go through your store like it's a playground, because you don't have to fucking worry about cleaning up their messes, because you fucking pack your little kid up, you go to your van, you put him in your little mom-mobile, and you fucking drive off while you leave everybody else that works there to clean up your fucking mess. Absolutely not. That shit is fucking ridiculous. I want to fucking kick every little kid that I see do that shit. But on top of that, when I go to a restaurant and some little asshole is sitting in his high chair throwing shit all over the place, and I know that poor fucking busboy or waiter has to clean up after that little fuck, God, that drives me nuts. My daughter doesn't throw shit in a restaurant. She's 1 year old, people, and I don't have to worry about her throwing food anywhere. Do you know why? My wife and I don't let it happen. Where is the responsibility from the parents who have these little fucking terrors go everywhere? I don't get it. They are literally the fucking worst part of my day is when I see another little asshole running around causing fucking problems in anywhere. And fuck other people's children who show up and expect that they're going to have everything handed to them. Why do I have to make a goodie bag at my daughter's party for... Why do I have to make a goodie bag at my daughter's birthday party for other people's little fuckheads? Why do I have to worry about pleasing other people's kids? It's my daughter's birthday. She gets the presents. You guys get fucking cake. There's your goodie bag. And the other thing that pisses me off about other people's children is they're always sticky. They're always snotty. They're always leaking some type of liquid, whether it be from their eyes or their mouth or their nose. Clean up your child. How fucking hard is that? God, this is just fucking ridiculous. I don't understand why people's children are sticky. And then they fucking touch, like, when you have someone else's child show up at your house and they fucking start touching windows in your screen door or your glass door, and they fucking leave little fingerprints everywhere, and the fingerprints are sticky, and you can't remove the fucking handprints from your front door with glass cleaner. No, you have to get a little fucking blade and scrape that shit off. God, fuck other people's children. Fuck it, I'm done.
You know my problem is with ban the box? If we're going to ban boxes, like, what the hell are we going to do in businesses?
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network. Hey, Don, how's it going?
Living the dream. I'm actually just getting ready to do this commercial.
Oh, you mean the commercial where I tell our listeners to tune into Gear Network every week to listen to our show, Get Ready America, that one?
Yeah, John, that's the one.
They can also listen to us talk about news, sports, whatever's on our minds, that...
And a little what's on our listeners' minds, but they're just too nice to say it.
Well, that, Dawn, is a real humdinger.
Humdinger.
Come join us this and every week for Get Ready America, exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
And the Gear Network app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I am Ryan Wolf.
It's Mr. Perez.
And I have a question for you, Perez.
What's your question?
Do you like to listen to people talk about sports?
No. Of course I like sports and listening to people talk about sports.
Well, guess what? I have the perfect solution for you.
Solution for me?
There's a podcast on this very network.
This network?
Every single week you can hear it.
Really?
New content, latest and breaking news. We talk about baseball, football, hockey, basketball, soccer, UFC, whatever you want to talk about.
So sports in general.
They talk about sports in general. You got it.
I like it.
You know the dictionary.
I like it.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
I must say, tune in. We are Better Live Than Dead.
You're not.
Every single week. You're not going to want to miss it. Exclusively here on the Gear Radio Network.